Welcome everyone to the Pro Wrestling Spotlight presents True Heel Heat 54. We are live back at True Heel Studios. We are without our True Heel resident alcoholic top guy, JJ.
Hi, JJ. I hope you travel safely and having fun across the world on the pond over there.
I hope you get the pond ready for this evil True Heel that is heading there next week. But we are here to join you guys. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3, back once again with the lovely, the beautiful, the princess of all True Heels, the bottle girl of the True Heels, and Miss Chipotle in this week's episode, Miss Krssi Love. Hello, Krssi.
Hey, everybody.
I was waiting for our producer.
I know, right?
Our producer took the week off last week, so I thought he would give you, a round of applause.
Gotta get back in the swing of things, man.
Get it going. But thank you guys for watching on the Pro Wrestling Spotlight. Any of you guys watching on True Heels page, if our producer doesn't mind sharing that on the True Heels page, I would greatly appreciate it since his phone is indie for once. But yes, we are going to be sharing and we're going to be talking about all the news going on in the professional wrestling world. Of course, the big news of the sort of return of CM Punk to the WWE.
Yeah. Is that like a return? Or is that, I don't call it a return. I don't call it a comeback. I don't know.
Sort of. Jordan Miles officially quits WWE. Tom Lawlor, Filthy Tom, might be leaving MLW. And of course, we're going to get through...
Filthy Tom?
Yes, Filthy Tom Lawlor. And we're going to review AEW Full Gear in detail. So we got to get through the roll call. The True Heel roll call is how we start every one of these True Heel Heat podcasts. That's where we shout out our top 3 conversation starters on the True Heels group page, as well as anyone who's supporting the True Heels group page, the Pro Wrestling Spotlight, or our True Heel Heat page, as well as YouTube channel. So let's shout out our True Heel Trinity, our top 3 conversation starters. Coming in at number 3, Steve Gerwick of Gerwick.net. He's always posting up about a whole bunch of news stories that he's got on that website. So shout outs to Steve. Another Steve, a more famous Steve to the True Heels group page, the true face himself, Steve Salvage. Shout out to him. And once again at number 1, the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson. A couple of the True Heels we got to shout out: Arturo Jr. Paz, Robert Cortez, Dale Young, RJ Nagatinip, Bill Chadwell, and Sammy Lazarus. And a very special shout out and thanks to Love Story Bar in Brooklyn on White Clough Avenue. Big shout out to their owner, Will. Yeah. Will even helped us out with the lights on our beautiful True Heel Heat 53 stage. And of course, our good friend of the podcast, of our YouTube channel, Romeo, for allowing us to throw our AEW Full Gear viewing party at Love Story. Great turnout for you guys, our True Heels that came out to Brooklyn to support us and watch the show.
In that freezing ass cold.
Came out in the freezing cold to Brooklyn and hanged out with us, watched Full Gear. We got a little bit of the bubbly when a certain person got a victory, so we were very happy.
The margaritas was on point. The lady that was at the bar.
Patron Margarita was on and popping at Love Story for sure. So if you're in the Brooklyn area and you want to have a nice night out, especially on those weekend nights, it's getting cold. So go to Love Story. And get a drink from Will and they're great bartenders over there, and definitely we'll be back at Love Story very, very, very soon. That brings us to some huge announcements that we got to start off the show. We usually save our announcements for the end of the show, but we're going to hit you nice and early with some huge announcements for the end of the year, as well as 2020 for True Heel Heat. So announcement number 1, our next viewing party. Our next viewing party, I kind of was called like the host of our last viewing party, but I'm going to pass this torch to a Miss Krssi Love.
What?
Yes, Miss Krssi Love is going to be the main host for our podcast for our next viewing party, because our next viewing party will be on Sunday, January 12th. For Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill. And Miss Krssi Love, I'm going to give you the reins because Tessa Blanchard will make history as the first woman to main event a pay-per-view and go after a world title. So you are going to have your own all-female podcast once again. So I am passing the reins to you once again. We're going to celebrate Tessa. We're going to celebrate Miss Krssi Love. And Miss Krssi Love, you are without me. You can do the agenda. You can do whatever you want on this episode. It's all about you.
All right, boss. Sure.
It's gonna be a hot girl winner.
It was even an announcement to her.
Yes, exactly. I'm speechless right now.
Well, I
knew we were gonna do another all-female podcast episode. I didn't know when, but I just knew it was going to happen. But thank you. I appreciate.
Hey, you got 2 months to prepare. There you go.
Sure.
But yes, we're gonna be back at Love Story Bar in Brooklyn. So if you weren't able to join us,
make sure I dress warm.
Exactly. If you weren't able to join us for AEW Full Gear, a couple of my friends couldn't make it. A couple of people that I don't know that messaged the page couldn't make it. Come on down to Love Story Bar in Brooklyn, New York, January 12th. Impact Hard to Kill. Not many places will be having viewing parties for this pay-per-view, but the True Heels are the first ones who are making their announcement for Impact Hard to Kill on January 12th. Join us at Love Story. If you're not going to go to Dallas, the best place to be is with us at Love Story.
Nice.
So we're going to promote that.
We're going to have a whole bunch of margaritas ready.
Margarita's going to be on deck, and we're going to have much more announcements about this viewing party as well. Maybe a few surprises as well, so stay tuned. Announcement number 2, we are going to be expanding our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel, we are very close to exceeding 300 subscribers for our YouTube channel, but in 2020, we want to expand further. We want to get to viewers who are watching us on Facebook Live via the Spotlight Nation, as well as through the True Hills page. And we want to get new viewers who's never watched us on Facebook Live, never seen one of our viewers our videos on YouTube. So we are going to be expanding with brand new content and segments to True Hill Heat YouTube channel. So first up in this first slate of segments that we're going to be announcing, I want to announce that I'm going to be bringing sort of the segment that I was doing on the Spotlight before. It was called Weekly Heat, but now it's going to be called the 3 Count with SP3, where I'm going to be going through...
Of course you have a 3 in it, of course.
Of course. We're going to be going through daily news with you guys, so I'm going to be probably doing it 2 times to 3 times a week on our True Hill Heat YouTube channel, the 3 Count with SP3, so we can get to you more news. You don't have to wait our long 2-week gaps for True Hill Heat. You can get more news in between the time with the 3 Count with SP3. But that's not the only news show that we're bringing to True Hill Heat YouTube channel. The one and the only, like I mentioned him before, our good friend Romeo Anthony Colon, as many call him on the True Hills group page, the true troll of the True Hills group page. He has the Charlotte Appreciation post that has been ongoing since January 1st. He's got a Becky complaining post since January 1st. He is a man that keeps consistency. He has can't miss picks. He has so much to bring and offer to our YouTube channel, and he is going to be bringing it weekly to our YouTube channel, and with his new segment to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel called The Romeo Report, where he's going to be giving you his news and can't miss picks every week via our YouTube channel. And the next one we got to name is another former host of True Hill Heat, Drunk Guy JJ. He became famous on True Hill Heat 46 when he got drunk off the head.
Just saying.
You called him Tyreek?
It's Tyreek.
That's the worst. I know Jaquan's watching. He's probably not happy about you referring to him as the worst character on Power.
No,
but...
I mean, like...
But yes.
He ain't got no job. He goes to every show. Excuse me, now I'm got to talk. So
I was giving you time to eat.
I know, I'm sorry. He ain't got no job. I don't know. What's your employment, sir? You always at every show in the 3rd row. How you get those hookups? And you taking flights. He's not getting on the bus. He's not taking Ubers there. He's getting on flights to these places and hanging out and getting pictures with everybody too.
Yep.
So you paying to get these pictures get done. Tyreek, you got that money. Your mama.
Are you accusing him of something?
I think she is. He's a construction worker, ladies and gentlemen. But
he works for Sandman's construction company.
Exactly.
I know he does.
Exactly. He works at a pharmacy. He's got multiple different jobs. He does a lot of different things. But he became famous with us on True Hill Heat 46.
No, I love him very much. But
absolutely.
I need to know what the hookup is, sir.
But for his segment that he is bringing to our YouTube channel, he is going to be doing drunk raw reviews which means
He's gonna be drunk watching. Well, you need to be drunk to watch Raw.
No, he's actually going to be taking shots for every bad segment on Raw.
Oh my god!
So it is called Going Raw with Drunk Guy JJ.
Going Raw?
Yes, Going Raw with Drunk Guy JJ is coming to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. And then finally, Miss Krssi Love, you're going to be coming up with your own special segment for the YouTube channel. So if you want to tell the people at home what's going on.
I am going to be doing the SmackDown review. It's going to be was it SmackDown review with the Lynches? Basically, no point intended, of course.
not related to Becky. No relation to Becky.
Well, you'll most likely see myself and my 2 sons, and most likely my husband will be sitting back and reviewing what happened on SmackDown on Friday nights. If it's not happening on Fridays, you'll see it on Saturday. So you will get to see myself and the whole Lynch clan ready to rock and watch SmackDown live. So
we'll probably be dropping those videos on Saturdays. So stay tuned on Saturdays with SmackDown review with the Lynches. So we're bringing more Krssi Love to you guys. So we want to hear from the Pro Wrestling Spotlight and the True Hills what you guys think about our announcements, our expansion of our YouTube channel, or anything else that we're about to get into through our top news. What's going on?
All right, the Negro Buck says straight edge edition of True Heel Heat. And he's got to get used to seeing us on Thursdays.
Absolutely.
Yes,
we are
sir.
here. Thursday Night Delight.
Chris says SP3 botches more last names than Jim Ross.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
He also says Margarita Mania was running wild.
Ooh, yeah.
And what he wants is Jabroni Thursdays on YouTube.
ooh.
Jabroni Thursdays. Chris, talk to me in my inbox. Maybe we can make something happen. Maybe we can bring a new show to our YouTube channel as well.
That don't sound bad, actually.
That is just the first slate of segments that we're bringing to our YouTube channel. I'm gonna have more announcements next week on True Hill Heat 55. I want to give a special shout out to our good friend Ness, who was our producer on True Hill Heat 53.
Woo!
Just to give you a tease, we might have an announcement regarding next week on True Hill Heat 55 about our expansion of our YouTube channel. So stay tuned. So we got to continue. I think that's all from the Spotlight and the True Heels for now. Keep commenting in the comment section. Any questions, especially our new viewers. We want to know where you're from, where you're watching, and if you're going to go on YouTube and press that subscribe button to get more True Hill Heat.
And make your friends subscribe to our channel. They don't have to watch it, but make them subscribe, okay?
Just subscribe. That's all.
Just hit the subscribe button.
That's all. So before we get into our top news, I want to give a special dedication to this episode and a special RIP to fantastic New York City independent wrestler Matt Travis.
Yes.
Matt Travis unfortunately passed away over the weekend due to a driver, a hit and run murder. It's a tragic story, a tragic time right now in the New York City independent wrestling area. So we want to give this dedication to True Hill Heat 54 for MBK. This is dedicated to MBK. So shout out to everyone who trained with him, everyone that came across him. Good brother. I know next week AEW's got a match dedicated to him as well. So
beautiful.
We are dedicating True Hill Heat 54 to Matt Travis. So we got to get into our WWE news. So to switch it up, take it away from a somber moment to bring it a more celebratory moment for a lot of WWE fans. Our top news for WWE is CM Punk returns, sort of, to WWE.
I thought I'd never see the day.
After WWE Backstage got bombed its first week with 49,000 viewers on Fox Sports 1, they came back this week with a bang. At the end of the episode, it was Renee Young said that she had a surprise for the people on in the ring, Booker T, Paige, Adam Cole, and Samoa Joe, and she said the surprise is, and the music hit, we heard the guitar, we heard the cult of personality, and CM Punk walked out on a WWE show. He got in the ring with Renee and the rest of the folks, and he said, as soon as you got the answers, I changed the culture. And it's been officially announced CM Punk has joined WWE Backstage as a correspondent. He won't be on every single week, but he will be on regularly. He signed a deal with Fox, not the WWE. So all you wrestling fans who said, he's back! He's back. He's gonna be at WrestleMania. Wait, guys.
Hold
on. No. They were like, hold on, guys. Usually at this time of the year, we know who Triple H is versing. We don't know who Triple H is versing. CM Punk is back. So Chicago, that's Survivor Series in Chicago. He's obviously going to be at Survivor Series, and he's going to set up his match with Triple H. No, please calm the fuck down and decrease the sugar intake, motherfuckers, please. Goddamn. But what did you think about CM Punk's return?
Like I said, sort of. Didn't think I'd ever see the day, first of all. And two, clever how he's only signed a deal with Fox and not WWE. So I was like, well, how much ass kissing did Triple H and Vince have to do to get his ass back? Who made the call? I want to know. I want to hear the phone call. Hey, friend, how you doing? It's been a long time, you know. Need some things to talk to you about, you know. Just, you know, we're, you know, getting our ass kicked in a little bit of ratings. Want to see if you want to come over and, you know, help us out a little bit. Not as a wrestler. Not as that's too much so far. Just be a commentator, maybe. And then CM Punk said, sure, why not? I really want to hear the conversation, the back and forth. What's the funds? What's the dollar signs looking at on those lines?
Well, I will tell you how the conversation sounded between Triple H, Vince McMahon, and CM Punk.
Okay, go ahead.
It sounded like that.
Nothing.
There was no conversation between Vince McMahon and Triple H. CM Punk, and I quote, came out before he got the job with WWE Backstage on Fox. He said, and I quote, when I thought it was a WWE job, I was not interested. I did not even want to talk to them.
Okay.
Then my agent told me it's a Fox job. That is through Fox. WWE will give their blessing, but it's not a position. You are not signing a contract with WWE. He has signed a contract as a Fox analyst for WWE Backstage. That's the difference. There's no conversation yet. I am not saying all your optimism and getting very excited about this and thinking that it will lead to a return. I'm not saying that it won't be. Maybe down the line this is leading to a return. But honestly, I feel like if he does return, he's returning to perform for the Saudi Prince. He will return for sweet Saudi money. Seven. Yes. Not number 5 next year, not number 6 next year in 2020. 2021. Sweet Saudi money. 7. He will return.
You think that's when he's gonna go?
Hey, he also turned down
AEW's funds.
Yes, he turned down a wrestling contract with AEW that Tony Khan offered him, a big money one, which would have made him the highest paid wrestler for AEW. He turned them down because he has no interest of wrestling long term. Okay. If he is gonna wrestle, it's probably gonna be a 1-2 time type of deal. That's why I say
he did like a deal like the Undertaker, just wrestle maybe like once or twice, which is better. I'm just saying, but who knows?
I mean, I just think the best thing, if he's going to come back for one match, come back for that sweet Saudi money. He can make $5 million. He can set up the rest of his life. He can set up his kids with one match in Saudi Arabia.
No, well, I want to go to Saudi Arabia.
It's not up to you. Big money. Fans need to start thinking about the big money. All I will tell you is a quote from Les Thatcher. In wrestling, they're all whores. You just have to figure out the dollar amount.
How much they want to pay these whores to fight, huh? Okay.
That's all it is.
How do you feel about this whole thing?
I wasn't excited. I saw it. I saw it, and the only thing that I thought to myself that was like, this is cool, is that CM Punk now has to watch WWE. He has to watch it to have an opinion on it, to be an analyst.
He wasn't even watching it before.
He said at StarCast in Chicago during All Out Weekend, he said he has not watched anything from WWE. He was told in the interview at StarCast that Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch had went on vacation and gotten engaged. He was like, wait. He was like, wait. Isn't Seth Rollins like a top star and Becky Lynch like a top star? He was like, yeah. He was like, wait, what? They went on vacation? They got time off? He didn't even know people get time off now. He's been so far removed from the professional wrestling world and WWE that he didn't even know that.
Oh, interesting.
So all I will say is that CM Punk now has to watch wrestling, and I can't wait to hear his opinion on it. Let's hear you guys' opinion from the Spotlight and the True Heels.
Okay, Chris said he reacted for a moment that he kind of missed this shit. I hope he gets the desire to get back in the ring.
Yeah, probably not, but I mean, if you're getting paid like a good like 6-figure contract to talk about wrestling, what's the initiative to go in the ring and risk your body when you're you're not going to be able to perform like you used to perform?
Eric Smiley B. Nesby says Punk versus Stone Cold.
Perfect. The Saudi prince will probably put up that money to make that possible for you guys. Sweet Saudi money. That's all I'm telling you guys. It's gonna happen. All right. Any comments you want to read?
No, not yet.
All right. So we gotta move on to our next topic. We're gonna get more into CM Punk. We'll probably have more to say about his first full week on WWE Backstage, but definitely the top news coming out of WWE.
On Backstage is Renee, Paige, Booker T. They put Samoa Joe on there.
Samoa Joe was a guest.
Oh, he was a guest. Okay, I was gonna say
Samoa Joe and Adam Cole were guests on the show.
Thank God. Okay, continue now.
You gotta worry.
I almost had I got worried. I was like, no, poor Joe. Oh, Joe.
So we touched on this last week on True Heel Heat 53.
We've seen him in like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So
we'll get into him as well. But we talked about it on True Heel Heat 53. But we got to talk about more after this video was released. I think it was yesterday. Jordan Miles, or as he wants to be called because he doesn't want to be called by his slave name anymore, ACH. Don't forget the super bitch. He has officially quit WWE with a very profanity-filled promo via, I think it was like Facebook Live it was a promo to me. He got his catchphrase in. He let us know that he's done with the company. This was a promo. Jordan Miles has officially quit WWE. He says that he is quitting the racist company. They've done years of holding people down. It's been released a report from Black Wrestling Alliance that Jordan Miles is said to be suffering through mental illness, and that WWE even offered to give him time off to get mental help about his issues right now. So what are your thoughts on Jordan Miles, him quitting the WWE, and the latest report about his mental issues?
It's really sad if he does have mental issues and they try to give him help and you turn it down. Because you was on paid leave. Like, any person that have a job and they want time off and they pay and they telling you to just stay home?
Time and a
half. Who don't want that?
Time and a half.
Are you crazy? I would have been on a beach right now chilling. And it's cold in New York City. You crazy, man? Listen.
Exactly. I wouldn't.
You give me 6 months leave and I'm getting paid for it. I'm out. First flight out of here. We packing our bags. Let's go, everybody. Come on, we leaving. I'm not doing this. I ain't gotta go to work. Please, I don't have to get up early. I just gotta sit on the beach. Please, I'm leaving now. Goodbye. I'll be like, boss, gotta go. True Hills Heat off the beach, bitches.
Sit in her beach chair. Have a good time.
Have my drink.
But I mean, I didn't need this report from the Black Wrestling Alliance to figure out that he had mental health issues. I mean, I probably should have said it, but I kind of assumed he did because he was
lying about the whole other gist of everything.
Well, no, he had a good point with his first tweet. Like Top Guy JJ said on True Heel 53, he had a good point with his first tweet. He had the support of the culture, and then he dragged it and showed that he had an agenda. But the agenda was so far out there, and something that he's been out of ROH for years now. He's been out of ROH since 2015 or so. So to drag that up, and he's still getting paid. Yeah, he's got so bad feelings about that he drags that up. He calls Jay Lethal Uncle Tom.
That was
He showed that he's going through something. Yeah. He's going through something.
Yeah, once he started calling other people names, and then he was like, something ain't right.
Exactly.
Something's wrong.
I hope that he does get mental help, but he's kind of burned his bridges with other companies. AEW has come out and said that they're going to stay away from
they don't want none of that stuff.
New Japan Pro Wrestling also is probably saying the same thing. So 2 of the best companies that he could have left WWE for are going to stay away.
Hope he got some money in the bank.
He's got to get it together because I think he's going to have to stay away and be off from wrestling, something that he said he loves to do for a little bit because he burned a lot of bridges for places he could.
He probably need time off and just relax anyway. You should have been at the beach. I told you.
Beach weather. Let's hear from the spotlight in the True Hills about it.
Beach weather is good for your mental health.
It is.
I'm
It is.
The water, the sound, the ocean.
All right. All right. Ness says that video was funny as fuck though. When dude called him an Uncle Tom, that's when he got super triggered.
He gave the growl. He was like.
Tamara S. Battles says, I hope he gets the help he needs.
Yes.
And Chris says, so he won the tournament and he got a title shot right out the gate, but now they racist because of his shirt? Stay off the weed.
Yeah, I want to shout out Tamara. Tamara is one of the few people who's out there and doing the work on Wednesdays of watching both shows. So shout out to Tamara Battles. She's out there watching AEW Dynamite and NXT at the same time. I see her in a few groups. So I commend you, girl. You're a true wrestling fan and you're a true Wednesday night warrior.
One more comment from a Josh Nicholson.
Yes.
The dude was mentally ill like a lot of us and the pressure got to him. It's normal for a mentally ill person to blow up like that.
It is, and that's why I have to take back a lot of the things about what I said with him acting weird with the whole social media thing. Now I kind of understand it more. The mental health issues kind of were staring us right in the face. We just needed someone to kind of just say, yo, this is what he's going through. Mm-hmm. Let's kind of ease back on going so hard on him. So, the next bit of news we got to get into, Sin Cara is the latest superstar to ask from his release from the WWE. He's also joined Mike Kanellis. Mike Kanellis also asked for his release after signing a 5-year deal with the WWE earlier in the year. He asked for his release a couple of weeks ago. Now Sin Cara, who also re-signed a new deal earlier in the year, is also asking for his release. He feels like he has been stuck in a position and he does not see the light at the end of the tunnel. He doesn't see his value being appreciated with WWE. And to be honest, everything he said in his soliloquy about his release was true. The man has been stuck in a gimmick that was buried by somebody else. It was buried and ruined by the original Sin Cara, Mystico. And then he left the company because he was botch fest and injury fest the entire time of his run. And then Hunico, who played the fake Sin Cara, became the real Sin Cara, and he's been stuck in this position ever since then.
You know, had 5-10 people that played this damn role.
Yep.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Kind of like the Suicide character from OTNA.
Yeah.
But what do you think about Sin Cara, folks like Mike Kanellis and Luke Harper asking for their releases from WWE?
It's one thing when you show up to work every week, ready to work, and they're not using you. Yeah. And you get sick of that. I'm being paid. I'm guessing they're being paid when they show up, but I don't get to work. It's no one sees me, and then if I do go out there, I'm being made fun of, or I'm just jobbing to someone, or just botched. And I know that my character, and I know who I am, and I've worked very hard to do this, is not being built to the potential that I know it's built could be. So I can understand the frustration. Is anyone that's at a job, and you're you know what, fuck this, I need to find me a new damn job. Let me go.
Exactly.
I'm going to pay you the money, so let me out of this contract. Help me, help you, let me go. I don't want to be here no more.
I'm not happy. I want to go.
Right. And that's when people start looking for other jobs. And he's like any other human. I am not happy here. So you know what? Let's just call it is what it is. I don't have to be mad at you guys. You don't be mad at me. I just want to go. Let's bygones be bygones. And Mike Kanellis, when the last time Mike Kanellis fought in a fight?
I don't know, other than getting his brow beaten by his wife.
Right, his wife. His wife embarrasses every time he's on TV.
Yeah,
and they have another baby.
And they were the original ones that were supposed to do this Bobby Lashley gimmick. Bobby Lashley was supposed to be the father from Maria Kanellis' father. That was the storyline. Yes. I mean, some people don't know that, but yes.
And Rusev
the Lana, Bobby Lashley, and Rusev storyline was originally supposed to be with Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis.
I had to change. I know we're going off topic. I had to change my channel several times because I was I am not listening to Lana talk foolishness on this television. I will not listen to trash.
Well, that kind of segues to one of our other top news topics, so that's fine. Rusev recently in an interview called his current storyline with Lana and Bobby Lashley the hottest storyline in WWE.
What?
But the numbers do support it.
What?
The cringeworthy, yes, I'm calling it the cringeworthy Lana is pregnant segment from this past Monday Night Raw. In the UK, that was panned in the UK. It was booed out the building. Certain people called it one of the worst segments of the year.
Yes, it was trash. Go ahead, continue.
It gained 1.5 million views on YouTube. Some people like a train wreck. Some people like to watch a train wreck. Some people like to watch something that makes them uncomfortable. So, yes, Rusev has the numbers to support that, yes, maybe possibly this storyline is the hottest in WWE.
So you mean to tell me she didn't want to have Rusev baby, she wanted to have Bobby Lashley's baby?
Yeah. Well, she said she was pregnant by Rusev, but it was all a ploy to get him beat up by Bobby Lashley again. She thought she was going to have a 15-pound Mashka baby.
Yeah, when she said, I was like, ew. I had to turn because I couldn't hear her talk. Her segment was bad. People were booing. I couldn't take it. Like, I couldn't hear. I don't want to hear it.
Honestly, I was cringing because of how bad her acting was.
But
when she said the 15-pound Mashka baby, it completely took me out the segment because I was like, how can a baby be 15 pounds at 9 weeks?
Sorry. Then also, just like the accent is in and out all the time. We already know.
No. It was really bad like 1 or 2 years ago. Now, legit, every word she says is in English except for Rusev. Rusev is the only thing that she has a Russian accent for.
Hated it. Next.
So going back to the Sin Cara story, right now backstage in WWE, there's mixed reactions to superstars asking for releases. Some feel that they should be let go if they're unhappy, while others feel that no one will be released anytime soon. Speaking of backstage, we got to go back to WWE Backstage via Ryan Satin's new segment. Ryan Satin of the Pro Wrestling Sheet is called the Satin Sheet, where he kind of goes in with more insider information for WWE Backstage. This is probably the segment I'm going to be looking forward to every week on this show. But he talked about Johnny Gargano has been ruled out of action for Survivor Series weekend. WWE is blaming the attack from Finn Balor on NXT a few weeks ago as the reason for that. Other news that he brought up, Samoa Joe will be out a few more weeks with a broken thumb. He also talked about that on WWE Backstage.
Poor Joe.
Satin also announced that Paige and The Miz signed brand new deals with WWE. Paige signed an extension to be with WWE until 2023, while The Miz has signed an extension and he will be with WWE until 2025.
Oh, my God.
And speaking of new deals, Randy Orton signed a new 5-year deal with the WWE. So all those tweets and the shade he was throwing with, this is the elite level, and all this stuff was just to get WWE
That's troll too, you know that, right?
Bring me that bag, or I'm going to get elite. That's what Randy Orton said, and he got the bag. He got a new 5-year deal.
Just to show up to work once or twice a week? That's all. That sounds like heaven. I don't know.
Hey, Orton is with the shits.
His wife is beautiful.
And current plan for Survivor Series, this one is brand new news that I heard on Wrestling Observer today. They're going to plan to do The Fiend versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Universal Championship at Survivor Series.
No, stop it. No, I don't know.
Why? You don't want to see The Fiend go one-on-one with Daniel Bryan?
No, I don't want to see Daniel Bryan. No.
Why you hating on Daniel Bryan now?
I don't.
I've been saying it to a few folks. I'm going to say it to you. I'm going to say it to the Spotlight Nation, the True Hills, and our YouTube subscribers. Daniel Bryan has been the 2019 best wrestler on the main roster. By far. It's not even close. He's gotten over Eric fucking Rowan. He made it possible for Kofi Kingston to become the top babyface and WWE champion. He put over Mustafa Ali, Buddy Murphy, fucking Luke Harper. Like, the list goes on and on of people that he's put over in 2019, and then he capped it off on November 1st by giving Adam Cole his biggest victory in the WWE. So, Daniel Bryan, 2019 main roster wrestler of the year. Any argument against that? You're going to say Seth Rollins?
Hell no.
Exactly. This week's Raw, speaking of Raw, you asked about S on True Hill Heat 53. This week's Raw had the lowest rated third hour in the history of the show.
I think that's when I checked out too.
In the history of the show. Non-holiday, worst third hour in history. New Year's and Christmas might have lower ratings, but that's probably because people are, for New Year's getting drunk and Christmas spending time with their family.
That's hilarious.
So from hour 1 to 3, they lost over 300,000 viewers from hour 1 to 3.
One of them.
Other news, Stone Cold Steve Austin will have a brand new podcast on the WWE Network called the Stone Cold Broken Skull Sessions. It will debut soon with the current plan to do one per month with interviews with WWE stars as well as celebrities. Undertaker has been confirmed for the first episode, and that episode was taped in September when we were at Madison Square Garden. WWE Starrcade is coming back to the WWE Network on December 1st. It's going to be a 1-hour special from their live house show there. Mia Yim.
Oh my God.
Knew that was coming. Mia Yim and Aaliyah both suffered broken noses on NXT. If you saw Aaliyah's Twitter, that broken nose was hideous. And if you saw the main event, Mia Yim got a drop kick into a ladder, into her nose, shattered her nose. It caused the main event of NXT to get paused for a period of time while they tried to sew up her nose. But that was a great fight. Mia Yim deserves a lot of credit for continuing through with the broken nose.
That was a great fight in itself, yes.
Absolutely. Teams for the men's Survivor Series 5-on-5-on-5 have been set for Raw and SmackDown. Team Raw will be Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, and Ricochet, while Team SmackDown will be...
That's actually a good roster. A good team.
Team Raw is legit one of the best five superstars I've seen on one.
That is a good. You said the names again now, please.
Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, and Ricochet.
Damn, that is a good ass team, though.
Now the other side of the token. Team SmackDown will be the Big Dog, Roman Reigns, King Corbin, Ali, who now is back to Mustafa Ali.
Why did you change the name of the goddamn first place? Continue.
Shorty G and Braun Strowman.
Wait, what?
Shorty G is on Team SmackDown. All she needed to say there. Changes have been done to the NXT TakeOver War Games card. Matt Riddle will go one-on-one with Finn Balor.
He should not. He don't deserve it.
Hey, Matt Riddle is replacing Johnny Gargano. We said Johnny Gargano is out. He's out with a neck injury, which I'm not surprised because Finn Balor dropped him on his fucking head on a ramp. Like, what were they thinking? Huh?
Leave my sexy friend alone.
Finn
Balor has been doing his thing since he's
Johnny's had this neck injury since TakeOver Toronto. So I don't think dropping him on his head on a ramp was a good way to help him with his neck injury.
You're right. I don't think they should have did that more in the first place. Now you're right. I don't argue with that at all.
That's all I'm saying. So because of Matt Riddle going one-on-one with Finn Balor, he has been replaced in the men's War Games for the show. Dominic Dijakovic will replace him on Team Ciampa, joining Tommaso Ciampa and Keith Lee versus the Undisputed Era. On the other side of the token, the women's 4-on-4 War Games, Team Baszler is now complete. It will be Kaylee Ray, the NXT UK Women's Champion, joining her team, joining Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler seems It's looking alright, yo, and I ain't even a Shayna Baszler fan, yo, but that team right there, that's my pick.
Hey, they got the ace of the women's division, period. WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I'm not talking about Shayna. I'm talking about Io fucking Shirai is the best female wrestler in the WWE today. And she proved it on NXT this week in a fantastic ladder match. Because now they have...
Her turn just was made it everything just,
it just put everything together. She was already the best in-ring performer.
Fine, okay,
Now she's got the character to match it. And she got the victory over Mia Yim to give Team Baszler the advantage over Team Ripley in War Games. And finally, our last bit of the WWE news, SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley attacked the NXT Women's Locker Room backstage during NXT this week. And then it ended with Bayley laying out Shayna Baszler to end the show.
So Baszler's going to be fighting both nights?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She's a machine.
Interesting.
She's the right hand to our Lord and Savior.
Now, see, I was going to say something nice and you said some stupid shit like that. Never mind. Continue.
Anything from the spotlight in the True Hills before we get some more top news?
I am not going to sit here and allow you to speak such travesty in my presence. No.
All right, Chris Gutierrez. Fuck your stack of dimes, quoting Prince Balor to Johnny Gargano.
I love it. Thanks, Chris.
Also, Chris, can she speak English, pal? Regarding Io Shirai.
She speaks fine. She can speak any language. She speaks destruction.
Tamara is on it with the comments. She said that the three-way angle reminded her of Raven, Beulah, and Sandman, and Tommy rather, from ECW.
Okay.
And she also said that, speaking of Seth, his little behind talking about he wants to face Punk.
Oh God! That fight me CM Punk tweet. I swear to God, Seth Rollins is the biggest clout chaser in professional wrestling today. This man always got a man. He saw CM Punk on WWE Backstage. And I'm sorry, I saw them have a match. They had good matches before Punk left, but I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Punk now 5 years older, not in ring shape, versus Seth. Same moves, same formula for every fucking match he has. 1,001 curb stomps. Who gives a shit? I'm done. I'm done with our producer's father. I'm done with his clout chasing. I'm done with his formulaic fucking matches. Come on. Do something great, and then you can talk shit. Until you do something great, shut the fuck up, please.
Woo! And Chris is just happy that Rusev is over as a sex machine.
Sex addict Rusev. Let's run through some AEW
There's nothing wrong
news.
with being a sex addict, Lana. You need to get with the program.
Please,
That's what we talking about.
Anyway,
Get on and get out.
AEW news, we gotta talk about week 7 of the Wednesday Night Wars. AEW Dynamite gained 957,000 viewers. This is up from last week's 822,000 viewers. That is to be accredited for their great show over the weekend for AEW Full Gear. However, NXT is down this week after getting 813,000 viewers. They are down slightly to 750,000, meaning for the 7th straight week, AEW Dynamite has defeated NXT in the ratings. I'm gonna say, I said last week that the slight margin that AEW beat NXT for was only because NXT failed to promote the fact they were going to have AJ Styles and the OC on NXT.
Which was a good, yeah.
And it's taken into account because I looked further into the numbers for last week. The last 45 minutes of NXT last week did 1 million viewers.
Yes!
So, if they would have announced the fact that they were going to have AJ Styles on Monday for Wednesday, they would have beat AEW last week.
And NXT was great this week, so I'm surprised.
It was great last week. It was great this week.
It's been consistent. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's been getting better and better and better and better every week.
What's the key? On Raw, NXT invaded Raw again. Imperium and Walter confronted Seth Rollins, and we got a 3-minute Seth Rollins versus Walter match. Followed that up with Street Profits and Kevin Owens running their ass down, and it became a Teddy Long special, a tag team match player. And who won? Well, pal, I think those NXT guys are getting too many victories. Let's have Raw win this one. So, yes, Seth Rollins, the Street Profits, and Kevin Owens beat Imperium. They followed that up with the War Raiders. The War Raiders defeated who? The former NXT UK Tag Team Champions, Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster, who have been on NXT UK for a whole year having great matches. They're in a 3-minute squash against the War Raiders on Monday Night Raw.
And the War Raiders, you gonna...
So, WWE, you want to know why NXT was down this week? look in the fucking mirror, Vince. Vince, why you needed to squash and bury NXT stars on Raw might be why you lost 60,000 viewers on Wednesday. Just saying. Just a hint.
You're right. Okay.
Because that was a great show.
I didn't finish Raw, so I could, because it was bad. It was like trash to me. I'm sorry.
It was really
Between
bad.
the commentators and what's going on, it's treating it like it's like. Ugh.
It was
Saturday night main event on the network.
It was really bad on Monday. But we gotta get into more AEW news. The Young Bucks' Nick Jackson did a Q&A on Twitter with fans, and he revealed that the win-loss record may be reset either in January or after they make 1 year for Double or Nothing in May. So I don't know how I feel about the wins and losses resetting. I feel like it should be ongoing for the time that is AEW. Maybe they don't want to go too much into the high numbers because of people's attention spans. But I don't know how I feel about this. I will wait and see with this.
Yeah.
Tony Khan revealed in the post Full Gear media scrum that AEW's next pay-per-view will be in the first quarter of 2020. Double or Nothing 2 will be Memorial Day weekend again in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand, and All Out will once again be in Chicago during Labor Day weekend.
Keeping it the same thing, all same locations.
Yeah,
I actually kind of like that.
Yeah, and it's only going to be 4 pay-per-views for the year. I like that as well.
So like a big 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like going back to the Big 4 format because it gains more anticipation for these shows. And as we see with AEW, Double or Nothing in May.
It was always like 4 big shows, and then you just had like just build up to those shows. Yeah.
Exactly. Smaller shows in between. We might get another Fyter Fest or Fight for the Fallen. But the 4 major shows are going to be whatever the first quarter show is, Double or Nothing, All Out, and then next year's Full Gear.
And then they were also on talks and going to the Garden.
Yeah, and there is talks about them going to the Garden. Tony Khan says he's very interested in going there.
Why the hell not, sir?
Of course, they got to get around a lot of yellow tape. I mean, Vince trying to stop them, but that's besides the point.
Being a hater.
AEW Dynamite will be coming to Miami, Florida on January 15th. This follows up with their anniversary show the week prior, and 2 weeks prior from that, their big homecoming show. Cody Rhodes suffered I think it was 13 stitches to the top of his eye, as well as broken ribs. And Kenny Omega with multiple different injuries. Oh. They both were ruled out of this week's AEW Dynamite following Full Gear.
But he still went out there and was fighting.
Cody was still out there and fighting, and within a minute of doing anything, he started bleeding from that cut again.
Gash all open.
Yes.
Like.
Terrible. Jimmy Havoc and Excalibur got into a fight during Full Gear weekend. It was a party at Jimmy's Seafood, and Excalibur got the victory, put down Jimmy Havoc. He laid him out. But Tony Khan commented on it, and he said it was hilarious to watch. He said 2 guys that should not be fighting.
Right.
He was like, I didn't really take it that serious. He was like, they kind of squashed it afterwards.
Pretty much.
Reports say that the fan that threw the drink at MJF following his turn of Cody at Full Gear was a plant. Britt Baker, it was a plant. It was an indie fan or an indie wrestler. Britt Baker performed at Full Gear with over 100-degree flu. Yes, she did. After weeks of vignettes, Warlord made his debut on AEW Dynamite this week, attacking Cody and aligning himself with MJF, following one of the best promos of the year with MJF and Chris Jericho in a promo exchange, because my lord, is MJF about to be the biggest star in professional wrestling. This kid is 22 years old and went toe-to-toe with Chris Jericho on the mic and did not look out of place. He looked like he was a top star with Chris Jericho across the ring.
He was on point. Like, it's like they didn't practice. I'm sure they didn't even have to practice. It just rolled off the tongue like it was natural.
I'm sorry, one of my best lines of the year was, you have a 3-letter name, you're from Long Island. It sounds like to me your parents were watching me 25 years ago whooping Juventud Guerrero's ass and got horny. Chris Jericho, he went in. MJF had some great lines. This was a promo. If you have not seen the MJF Chris Jericho promo exchange, go out of your way to watch that. And speaking of Chris Jericho, Scorpio Sky pulls off the biggest upset in AEW history by pinning Chris Jericho in the main event for the AEW Tag Team titles, as Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho of the Inner Circle were defeated by SCU, and Luchasaurus returned to AEW at AEW Dynamite, helping Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy against the Dark Horse. Let's hear from the Spotlight and the True Heels.
Tamara S. Battles says, Hoover to Guerrera!
Who the hell is Hoovy? Google it, baby.
He also said you would think the doctor would know better in regards to Britt.
She's a dentist, not a doctor.
True.
Same.
She wants to know if we've addressed the Tom Lawlor situation.
We're going to get to that. We got MLW news to get to. We get to all the news here, Tamara. I appreciate you as a wrestling fan, and you will see on True Hill Heat, we get through every promotion possible.
And Chris says, I'd rather eat a sandpaper marshmallow than listen to another Jerry Lawler dad joke.
Oh my God, Jerry Lawler has decreased his quality in commentary every single week since his return. It's really bad. Almost as bad as JR. JR, I'm sorry, I'm going to call a spade a spade. Ooh. You were fucking up big time at Full Gear. What's that move? That hardcore, what did Hardcore Holly used to call that move?
Yeah.
Literally.
I caught that.
Oh my God.
And Excalibur said, I don't know, you got me there.
And then literally like 100,000 people tweeted him, the Alabama Slam, the Alabama Slam.
I said it out loud in my living room, yo. Oh my God.
It's
sad to see your childhood heroes.
It's too much blue too, man.
Oh my God. Like, you have such high hopes. I didn't think Jerry would have been that good coming back anyway. But Jim Ross is Jim Ross. And, you know, we hold him to like a really high like, you need to retire like the Undertaker's friend.
Let Tony and Excalibur do it. Tony is on
point.
Tony. I love Tony. I love Tony on commentary.
I've loved Tony from when he was. He has been good even when he was on WWF, WWE.
WWF, yeah, way back in the day.
Back in the day. Then he went to WCW and was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And now it's like he's not like. It just comes out like it's just natural. He
hasn't missed a step.
He has not missed a beat. And then like the whole interviews with Cody, it's just it's excellent. Like, it is wonderful. Like
with him, it doesn't matter what role they give him: commentary, interviewing somebody, the control center on AEW Dark, or the special. He does it all. Like Tony Schiavone,
he has not missed a beat at all.
He's been the best pickup as far as commentary for AEW.
Talk about it. I mean, come on.
But let's go to their former sister in Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling. And speaking of AEW, we got to talk about their BP Kenny Omega. New Japan Pro Wrestling president Harold Meiji denies that New Japan Pro Wrestling had anything to do with trying to stop Kenny Omega from entering Japan. Yeah, okay. And
that's you're doing some Vince moves over there, people.
Other New Japan news: Katsuyori Shibata might be cleared. This will be an ongoing story until we get to January, but he might be cleared to wrestle for Wrestle Kingdom 14 versus Kenta. If he is not, the backup plan currently right now is to do Kenta versus Goto, which is Goto is the training partner and former high school teammate of Shibata. So either way, I think we're gonna get a great match there. Will Ospreay, unfortunately, during their latest U.S. tour in San Jose and Los Angeles, he suffered an arm injury in the main event of New Japan Showdown in San Jose. So hopefully he's gonna be healthy, because I need to see him and Hiromu at Wrestle Kingdom. I just want to get through ROH news, and then we got the MLW and Impact news for Tamara. ROH news is just a 2-bit before we get to your Spotlight and True Heels. Indie legend, New York indie legend Dan Moff. He has signed a deal with Ring of Honor, his home promotion here in New York. WrestlePro will say farewell to Moff this Saturday in Rahway, New Jersey. And ROH has signed new matches for Final Battle to join PCO versus Roosh for the ROH World title. It will be Shane Taylor defending the ROH TV title against Dragon Lee. Bully Ray will go one-on-one with Mark Haskins in a street fight. And Vincent, not Vinny Marcelena, he's now Vincent, will go one-on-one with his former Kingdom teammate, Matt Taven, in a grudge match. This follows Vinny turning his back on Taven and attacking him with his famous axe at ROH Unauthorized. Let's hear from the Spotlight and the True Heels before we finish up top news.
2 quick things. Carlito Way says, it's 3 a.m. in the UK and all I want is my commitment shouted out so I can go to bed.
Your commitment? Wow, okay. Let's shout him out. Wait, what's his name again?
Carlito Way.
Carlito Way. You are our True Heel Heat 54 fan of the episode. You are watching at 3 a.m. in the morning? My God, you are committed to the Heat. I need you to push that subscribe button, though. Push that subscribe button, go to sleep, and watch the rest of True Heel Heat when we post it on our YouTube channel. Yes, I just threw the pen at you all the way from the UK.
And it broke.
Here you go, sir.
Cheap ass impact pen.
Cheap ass impact pen. Shouts out to Impact for the pen.
And Chris says, can we admit that Cornette and Galley on Power has been low key the most consistent commentary team these last 6 weeks?
Yes, because Galley, he's trying to be a tabloid reporter. He's trying to get Camille to talk. I like Galley because he's committed to getting Camille to talk. I like Jim Cornette because. Well, no, I don't like Jim Cornette. Anyway. But yeah, I would say they're our top 3 commentary team right there. Jim Cornette and Joe Galley is right up there.
Give me my sweater, please.
With Morrow, Nigel, and Beth Phoenix, minus Beth Phoenix.
I could do without Beth Phoenix.
That's why I said minus Beth Phoenix. If it was just Morrow and Nigel,
they'd
be the best.
They would be so good, man. Like,
That's
I feel like she's holding them back too. She's making the ship sink.
Well, they need at least one female, I guess.
Supposedly now.
Hey, teach song. Any other comments
have
before we
one on
finish
SmackDown.
up? All right, so we got last bit of news is with Impact and MLW. I'm going to end off the news with what Tamara wants to hear. But Impact news, the current lineup for working producers for Impact Wrestling is actually a quite interesting one. Their current producers are Jimmy Jacobs, Tommy Dreamer, former WWE creative team member R.D. Evans, former manager for Ring of Honor as well, P.D. Williams, who is currently an X Division wrestler for Impact Wrestling, D'Lo Brown, Gail Kim, and Don Callis. That is probably one of the better set of producers that Impact has ever had, so I'll give them credit for that. AAA news, Lucha Bros have signed a new deal with AAA, as well as Killer Cross has returned to AAA at an event in Torso, Mexico. MLW news, we got Teddy Hart lost the MLW Middleweight Championship against Myron Reed, thanks to the Contra Unit, Joseph Samuel. He threw a fireball in Teddy Hart's face, causing him to lose the title. Brian Pillman Jr. versus TJP, as well as MJF against his stablemate in the Dynasty, Alex Hammerstone, has been added to MLW Opera Cup in New York City in December. King Mo, the former MMA fighter, has signed a deal with MLW. So King Mo returns to professional wrestling. And finally, Tom Lawlor, Filthy Tom Lawlor, one of the faces of MLW. If you don't know Filthy Tom Lawlor, he's a former UFC fighter as well, a former MMA fighter. He's also the co-host of Filthy 4 Daily on Wrestling Observer with Brian Alvarez. He has said that he is done with MLW after his contract negotiations have hit an impasse. It's hit an impasse. They can't find a deal together. So what do you think about Filthy Tom? Do you see Filthy Tom going to maybe like WWE, AEW, or do you eventually see them get through these contract negotiations? Because he has been one of the top stars and faces of MLW.
I think he can get through this and probably just stay where he is. If he's drawing people in, they'll try their best to keep him.
He's a former MLW champion. Even after losing the title, he's always in one of the marquee matchups. He had we'll talk about him and Davey Boy Smith Jr. in a little bit. But let's hear from the Spotlight in the True Heels. What you guys think of MLW? What you guys think of Tom Lawlor being done? King Mo signing with MLW? Post it in the comments section. We'll get to you guys, but we got to run through what we missed. What we miss is New Japan Showdown, as well as New Japan Pro Wrestling Showdown in LA. Biggest moments from these shows in San Jose, Okada and Ospreay defeated Red and Ibushi. This was the match where Ospreay got the sprained arm injury. ELP, El Phantasmo, successfully defends the Cruiserweight Championship from Red Pro against Sho from Roppongi 3K. This was after Sho defeated him in the Super Junior Tag League. LIJ got the victory over Bullet Club in a 6-man tag team matchup in Los Angeles, and Jushin Thunder Liger had his final 2 matches here in the United States of America. So, how familiar are you with Jushin Liger? Not too familiar?
No.
I would just say this man has had probably the most the most famous career of any Japanese wrestler.
Really?
He was a cartoon in Japan. That's how famous he is. That's how much of a top star he is.
Damn.
And if you want to look up one match, I know you have the WWE Network. Go out of your way, watch this one. Brian Pillman versus Jushin Liger from Super Brawl 1992 in WCW.
Okay.
Little tidbit for you guys. I'm giving you little gems. Go to the WWE Network. Super Brawl 1992. Brian Pillman versus Jushin Thunder Liger. So of course we gotta name Liger the MVP for New Japan's latest US tour, since he did his final 2 matches, and the match of the weekend for a Showdown as well as New Japan Showdown and Showdown in Los Angeles is ELP versus Sho. They had a great match for the Red Pro British Cruiserweight Championship. MLW Blood and Thunder, their biggest moments, of course, as we mentioned earlier, Myron Reed of Injustice. Injustice got their first gold as he defeated Teddy Hart to become the MLW Middleweight Champion. Contra Unit is after all the gold and all the power and apparently want all the smoke because they're throwing fireballs in people's faces. In MLW, they went after Teddy Hart. They started a feud with the Hart Foundation, which I'm very going to be interested in. I'm interested to see, is Teddy Hart going to go for the MLW World Championship, or maybe Davey Boy Smith Jr. versus Jacob Fatu of the Contra Unit. Those are very interesting matchups, and they're also going to go after the Von Erichs and the tag team titles.
Dang, this is just getting, the stakes are getting higher and higher, man. Like, what the heck?
MLW is getting interesting right now, I gotta say. I watched their last pay-per-view. It was a hell of a show. If you haven't already, you should as well. Tom Lawlor had his final match with MLW as he went one-on-one with Davey Boy Smith Jr. and then low-key in a brutal, hard-hitting matchup got the victory over Timothy Thatcher. So the match of the night for Blood and Thunder, I gotta give it to Tom Lawlor versus Davey Boy Smith Jr. And the MVP, of course, for his final show, possibly, can't say it's for sure yet. He says he's done, but anything's possible in wrestling. Maybe his final show for MLW, I gotta give Tom Lawlor the MVP. So before we get into Full Gear and go through a lineup for next week's Wednesday Night War, let's hear from the Spotlight and the True Heels. Let's hear what you got to say. Any new comments? I see Tamara is commenting. So any new comments from anybody else?
Yeah, in regard to the fireball, he said he better be Skandar Akbar with that fire in the face. She also says that 1992 was a good year in WCW. I don't care what anyone says.
You're right, girl. 1992 was good. We had Sting versus Vader in Battle Dome. Like, come on. 1992, 1993 was another good year. You had Vader versus Cactus Jack in the street fight at Halloween Havoc. Like, there are some gems to watch from WCW from like 1992, 1993, and 1994. So WWE Network is there for you guys. Use it if you can get through that new app. I'm sorry. Ever since that update, that shit's annoying.
It is a little...
I had a whole bunch of shows I was watching on Continue to Watch, and it's all gone! The fuck?
Oh, damn. That sucks.
Anything else from the Spotlight or True Heels?
Chris says, I have no idea why, but I see Tom in NXT eventually.
Ooh.
But Tamara doesn't want him in WWE. They would not know what to do with him.
Anyway, I just feel like the only thing they would do with him is feud him with Matt Riddle and then call it a day. They're both MMA fighters. That's all I can see them doing. So AEW Full Gear, like we said, it was a jam-packed weekend of professional wrestling, but this was by far the pay-per-view everyone was looking forward to. So Miss Krssi Love, I know you couldn't stick around at the viewing party for too long, but did you watch the whole show?
I didn't watch everything, but I know what happened though.
All right.
Yes.
So what do you think about what is being called the most polarizing match of 2019? Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega. You've had on Wrestling Observer, on Dirt Sheets, any wrestling fans that I spoke to, I had a mix. It was down the line.
Mixed feelings.
Some people were calling it one of the most brutal, insane, great, fantastic matches they have ever seen. Some people were giving it 4 3/4 or 5 stars, while others were saying it was one of the most disgusting things they've ever seen in professional wrestling. They said it was too dangerous, too violent. They said the barbed wire was unnecessary.
Wow.
The barbed wire bed was unnecessary. Pulling off the mat and doing those hard ass bumps on the wood, which honestly made me cringe more than the barbed wire, was Kenny Omega doing a Phoenix Splash face first into wood. I was just like, ouch. But when you saw his shiner that he had on Dynamite, then you understood why I said ouch.
Listen.
What do you think?
Was that real or makeup?
I think it was makeup.
Yeah.
I think it was juice. You had to juice it up a little bit.
Little something.
But what did you think about what you saw of Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega? Do you think it deserves to be this polarizing?
I thought it was a great match, to be honest.
Yeah.
Something that we haven't been able to see on our end as far as like in the States for a while. So it's been damn near when was the last time we had like a match like that?
As far as on like a mainstream promotion, I guess you could say like TNA back in the day when they had like the Abyss Monster Ball matches or matches against Samoa Joe or Sabu.
I mean, just be happy that we have these platforms of wrestling to watch, guys, and they're gonna bring us different kinds of not the ordinary regular schmegler stuff that we're used to. So they want to change up the game. Now, yes, they are beating up their body, but to entertain us. And I just think that it's very commendable for them to put on a match and just keep going with each other for so long and still be entertaining and put their bodies through hell so that we can enjoy a great match between two phenomenal people.
I mean, I appreciated the match. My first reaction to the match was definitely I loved it. I gave it, if you saw my match ratings on the True Hill Heat page, I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was a very memorable, hardcore. It was very violent, but it was the right type of violent. It had enough insane spots, and I felt like it kept building. And I felt like even though they did a barbed wire bed and then got back into the ring and exposed the wood, I felt like the wood was more dangerous than the barbed wire bed. So that was them escalating the story, and it told a really great story of Kenny becoming this sadist and only being focused on hurting Jon Moxley, while Moxley was more focused on getting the victory on Kenny Omega.
Definitely.
So I thought they told a great story, but I can also understand the people that were against it, felt like it was too dangerous, too violent. On one level, I will mention what Brian Alvarez said from Wrestling Observer. He said that you had 2 guys who basically committed puncture wounds to each other's backs. And then they spent the next 30 minutes bumping on a dirty ring, bumping on a dirty floor, bumping onto more barbed wire. And one of the guys just had an elbow infection less than 2 months ago. There are good points to make in like why this match was maybe a little bit too dangerous, why some of the risks they take, and also Kenny Omega is, like we all say, he's top 3, top 5 wrestlers in the world. Jon Moxley, ever since he's left the WWE, has become one of the hottest, one of the biggest names in professional wrestling today. These guys didn't need to have that type of match to have a great match.
Because they sold the match regardless before they even had the match.
They sold the match regardless before then, and they could have had a really great, decent, regular match. And they didn't have to do any of this stuff. So I understand both sides of the view, and that's why I'm kind of in the middle of it. I do want to hear from the Spotlight, the True Hills, our comment section on our YouTube channel, and I want to hear what you guys think. Let's talk about this further, because I feel like it is polarizing in the right way, but if it's going to be remembered for one thing, I think it should be remembered for being the most polarizing match and one of the most violent matches of 2019.
I think it definitely should be remembered as something that was like something that they put their bodies through just to entertain us. And like you said, they don't have to do it. They sold the match without even having to go through all that stuff. But they wanted to entertain us, and they wanted to do something different and out of the norm than they've usually done. I mean, Omega done these things really. They both have done it, but not together on this platform. So
exactly,
it's commendable for them, yeah.
And Jon Moxley really wanted to do this type of matchup. He got to do it, and now he's probably the craziest and most dangerous guy in AEW because of it. So we got to talk about the main event of the evening, the real main event, because AEW made that non-sanctioned. The real main event was the world title match between Jericho and Cody. Honestly, I felt like it was one of Cody's best matches in quite some time. I feel like it was Chris Jericho's best match since his match with Kenny Omega last year at Wrestle Kingdom. This match told a fantastic story. You had the missed suicide dive on the ramp that busted Cody open. Oh my God, that cut was gruesome. And and the people that thought that he bladed himself, no, you don't blade yourself in the shape of a fucking eye. You don't do it in the shape and you don't do like this. You do this. Yeah. You don't do that. Yeah. You don't do half a circle for a cut. No, that was a legit cut on the top of his eye. And it helped elevate the match to me. It made it more dramatic, and the fact that MJF threw the towel in, you understood because Cody was on his last run. He was in the walls of Jericho. He was not going anywhere, and MJF throws in the towel. But that turn at the end made it beautiful. Mm-hmm. It made it a 5-star affair. The turn at the end made everything right. What was your thoughts on the MJF turn as well as the match?
I didn't see that part coming for the MJF. But he's a little slick little motherfucker, so of course some shit like that you can't trust him. So I don't like it, but it's entertaining and it's really good. And like you said, this was a great Cody match. It was a great entertaining just thing that no one's seen him throwing in the towel. As far as that be the ending of the whole match in itself. Yeah, they had him in the wall. He had him down and just throwing in the towel. It was like, what do you mean you throwing in the towel? I mean, he probably would have lost regardless, but now does that change the way he lost and how things happen? Can he not still go for the belt? Well, it was by a ref, so technically.
Well, to go back to what we talked about with the AEW news, Nick Jackson did his Q&A on Twitter, and he said that they will not be going back on stipulations. That stipulations count in AEW, so he will not be going for the AEW title anytime soon.
Wow. Okay. Well.
Hey, it's all right. I know you're WWE conditioned to break every stipulation. John Cena gets fired and he's on Raw the next day, but AEW is going to actually follow through on stipulations, which I commend them for because Cody right now is the hottest face in professional wrestling. But I feel like him and MJF, they can go for the next year. Especially adding in someone like Wardlow, you got Dustin Rhodes, you got the Young Bucks, you got so many other things. This could be a feud for the next year.
It could be a few. It could carry on for a little bit of a while. I guess so. But then you still have the Inner Circle that's also beating up the brother.
Cody's is being stretched in a couple of different ways.
Yeah, he now has the whole MJF thing. I don't know. It could. I guess it can be played in every other realm and be a storyline that stretches so long to next year, but. We just gotta watch it and play it out and see what happens. I don't know.
I mean, we gotta watch and see, wait and see. But I just feel Cody has done pretty much everything he can do as a professional wrestler. He's played multiple different characters, from dashing to undashing to now the grandson of a plumber, the American Nightmare.
Oh, so that
was a nice shirt.
Yeah, man. I need that shirt too.
He's been in multiple different stables, from Legacy to the Elite. He's had 5-star matches. He's had great matches, great story matches, great athletic matches. Now he has a chance to make someone.
Yeah.
To make a guy in this business. 22 years old. MJF, by far to me, he is the second coming of Roddy Piper. He is the second coming of Roddy Piper, and now Cody Rhodes can make him that. He can make him that, solidify him, and he's going to be a top star for AEW.
Definitely.
Santana and Ortiz got the victory over the Young Bucks, but after the fact, the Rock and Roll Express got some revenge on Santana and Ortiz. Ricky Morton with the slowest Canadian destroyer in history, and I'm sorry.
He did it though.
But I'm sorry. At this point,
it was just so. Go ahead.
On November 9th, 2019 at 8:31 p.m.
PM.
The Canadian Destroyer officially became pro wrestling's new super kick when Ricky fucking Morton at 63 years old did a fucking Canadian Destroyer. It became the super kick. Everyone does the Canadian Destroyer now. A 63-year-old motherfucker did the Canadian Destroyer.
He did it though. He did it though. Wait, what? You didn't pop hard for that?
I popped. No, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I popped. But this was the moment where the Canadian Destroyer jumped the shark.
Come on.
That was the moment. That
He
was
was
the
mad
moment.
hype too, son. You can tell him
That shit was, and then he did a dive.
Yo.
Then he
I
dove.
give him credit for the dive. I give him credit for the Canadian
He
Destroyer.
did the dive.
He was
He got
out.
help with the destroyer, but he did the dive.
I don't know where Robert Gibson was. I just saw Pat with him. Our good friend Pat Chavez was
He was
with
in the
Ricky
ring,
Morton
yeah.
playing the role of Robert Gibson. Shout out to Pat Chavez. Hangman Page finally defeated Pac. He finally got a victory, a pinfall victory over Pac at AEW Full Gear. Rio defeated Sakura for the AEW Women's Championship, successfully defending that. In my eyes, as well as Uncle Dave Meltzer, this was the best AEW Women's match so far. This was very, very well worked. These two women know each other so well because Sakura trained Rio, and they had a great exchange of roll-ups and pins at the end, which Rio got the victory. And SCU got the victory over the Lucha Bros and Private Party. And then after the match, Christopher Daniels as Pentagon Duress made his return attacking the Lucha Bros. Match of the night, I'm going to give it to Cody and Jericho. I thought Moxley and Omega was amazing. It was an insane match, but Jericho and Cody, as far as the story and the match, I give it to.
They definitely deserve match of the night. I totally agree with you on that one. Yes, cool. Second is Moxley and Omega, but definitely as far as like being consistent and never like missing a beat, gotta go to the main event, which was Mr. Cody and
Mr. Cody, the biggest
El
babyface, and El Champion get the match of the night, and I will go with MVP for Cody for that cut, for the MJF heel turn. He deserves MVP because he went out there and he put on a performance for us. So that is all for the AEW Full Gear review. Anything from the Spotlight and the True Heels, we're going to run through the Wednesday night docket for this coming week before we wrap things up.
All right, before that, Drunk Guy JJ says, I was right there. It definitely wasn't a blade job. Hit the ramp hard as hell.
Thank you, Tariq. We appreciate you.
He also adds, fuck those old farts.
I feel you on that one too.
And Chris says, forcing senior citizens to do this type of shit should be illegal.
It really should though. Like
it's against some rules.
I mean, but they signed and said yes. So
Wait. Chris also says, Rock and Roll Express are on Power also. These dusty fucks work more dates than Brock Lesnar.
That was a good one, Chris. That was a good one. But yes, they do work a lot of dates. They work a lot of dates. So this coming week...
oh my god, I can't. No.
Wrong.
This coming week on NXT, we got a big time main event. It's going to be a ladder match to determine the advantage for the men's War Games. It's going to be the NXT champion Adam Cole going one-on-one with Donovan Dijakovic. Who you got?
Damn.
Don't think too hard.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's only two people.
I know, but
it's War Games.
I know.
War Games only works if the heels have the advantage. Cole wins. It's not that hard.
I know. I love it.
If it was for the NXT Championship, maybe it'd be hard.
Right.
But this is not
Adam Cole. You're right. Adam Cole. And I love me some Adam Cole, but Adam Cole, he's winning.
All right. AEW Dynamite, that's the only match they have announced for NXT this week. Well, it is the go-home show for War Games, so I understand why they announced one.
Yeah. They're still building it up. Okay, fine.
AEW Dynamite this coming week, they're bringing back a WCW classic, the Battle Dome. It is a 12-man battle royal. They are calling it the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal. It's going to be 12 men competing in a battle royal with the final 2 men going one-on-one and the winner winning a luxurious, very prestigious AEW ring. Who you got? Name anyone on the roster. It does not matter. We don't know who's in the match. You can name anyone. You can name anyone from AEW. That's not in the other match.
Ricky Morton.
You know who I'm going with?
Who?
Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy for the win in the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal because he could put on the ring and just do like this. Absolutely. Who you got? Anyone.
Pac. I don't know.
You got Pac?
Yeah,
That's actually a good choice. I actually like that choice. Pac needs some momentum. He got a little bit of momentum.
That's the final 2.
Absolutely, yeah. Why not? Why not?
Hey, I could take final top 2. Sure, why not? I mean,
Why not?
hell, we don't even know who the hell is in the damn match. So,
And then Pac got his win back over Hangman Page on Dynamite this week,
That
so
too,
maybe he follows up and wins this a luxurious ring.
True.
This
It's
one,
gonna be like like the ring that they give like the basketball players and the football players, like a big ring like that.
yeah, like that.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Fancy. This one is dedicated to Matt Travis, just like True Heat 54 is going to be Santana and Ortiz versus Matt Travis's former training partner at House of Glory, Private Party. So who you got? Private Party going up against Santana and Ortiz.
Santana and Ortiz.
I think Santana and Ortiz, I gotta agree with you there. I think they're gonna continue the momentum. They are undefeated in tag team matches so far in
And
AEW.
that match they had was good as well too.
That was great.
First of all, they opened up the damn show.
That was a great match.
Full pinstripes and all, Bronx, New York. You know how you say Cardi B is from the Bronx, like she's just straight Bronx.
And that brawl on AEW Dynamite was fun as fuck.
Yo,
it made me watch the commercial because I'm like,
God.
are they really gonna go through this whole commercial brawling? And I'm like, what? I legit couldn't turn to NXT at this point. I was just like, are they legit gonna brawl through this whole commercial? And I was like, they legit brawled through the entire commercial. And not only that, the fact that they did that, because the only question everybody had when Cody got attacked by Lawlor and MJF is like, where's all his friends?
Yeah.
His brother's injured, okay, but what about the Elite? The Young Bucks are in the back fighting with Santana and Ortiz. I was like, AEW thinks about the stuff that we're going to ask and then takes care of that detail. I appreciate that.
Yes, it did.
I'm going to agree with her. Santana and Ortiz get the victory.
That was a good match. And then he actually like sprayed.
They spray painted a hole, and then they said they put him through the hole.
Fucking classic.
And then my favorite part of the whole angle is we'll relax. We'll go. Hey Brandon, guess what? We lied. Yo, Ortiz is hilarious. Ortiz biting the top rope at Full Gear as he got super kicked. Probably my favorite spot of that whole match.
They are phenomenal. Like this is, you know how they have like blessing in disguise. Like, you know, you have just there's other things. Open a new door, close one door, and open a new door. Best door they walk through.
AEW.
Best damn door that they walk through, man, because they have been entertaining. They have entertained us to like the fullest. I mean, that whole brawl, they had like how many people out there trying to stop them, and they was like, all right, we're gonna go. Nah, we're not. One is over there, one over here. It's just
super kicking security guards.
It started in the back, backstage. He's jumping off the
forklift.
On the forklift.
Yo, that was just an insane brawl and angle that they had on AEW Dynamite. More of this type of AEW Dynamite. I want to say this past week was one of the best pace. We had the Jericho MJF promo. Yeah. You had the Moxley promo, the Darby Allin making the challenge to Moxley, and just the different angles like that brawl between the Young Bucks and Santana and Ortiz and other things throughout the show just made it possible. Even the lower card feud, like them starting Dark Order versus Jurassic Express with Luchasaurus getting one of the biggest pops of the whole night. It's just fun. And then the main event next week on AEW Dynamite is one I'm really looking forward to. I just mentioned it. Jon Moxley going one-on-one with Darby Allin. Who you got?
Jon Moxley.
I think it is. It's kind of obvious. Moxley needs to get this victory here.
He needs these victories right now. Build them. I mean, he don't need them, but they're gonna give them to them.
Darby Allin's the type of guy he doesn't need to win all the time.
Yeah.
He can get over by losing here, just getting his ass kicked and keep coming. That's what Darby Allin is known for. So we're going to wrap things up on this edition of True Heel Heat. Any final comments from the Spotlight, the True Heels, or anyone else?
Chris says, if Ricky Morton wins, I'm Tope suiciding off my roof.
Tope Suicida! I love when Tony said, that's my favorite move. I love it every time. But yes, we are going to wrap things up on this edition of True Heel Heat. True Heel Heat 54. I want to thank Miss Krssi Love once again for joining us. Top Guy JJ, we send you a shout out all the way across the pond. I hope you're having a good time out there and you're back with us next week for our Survivor Series preview. We're going to go through the entire Survivor Series weekend, the NXT TakeOver War Games card, as well as every single match for WWE Survivor Series. Quick little plug for a couple of the podcasts that I work on. Toxic Talk, that's up on YouTube. We want to up those YouTube views and subscribers for the Toxic Talk YouTube, so check that out. 4 Quarters Podcast, our latest episode on load management and the king of load management, Kawhi Leonard. I have a lot of very nice things to say
about him. What was the last topic of Toxic Talk?
Last topic of Toxic Talk was our favorite porn stars.
Ooh, who's your favorite porn star?
You gotta tune in to Toxic Talk to find out. But I will say...
Who's your favorite porn star, Krssi?
I don't have one, actually.
Okay.
Wait, no.
Sounds suspect.
Yeah, let's put a lie detector on her.
Let's look at that browser history.
Browser history, real quick.
I don't know her name. I have to look.
Her checking out those G1 climaxes.
It could be a him.
Yeah,
it could be a him, but I don't think it's him. I think it's a girl.
It could be a him. It could be a her. Well, let's
say hold on, I might find it for you.
She's trying to find it for you. She's trying to end this episode hot.
Yes.
But
keep talking.
We gotta plug our new lineup once again. Like I said, a new slate of segments are coming to our YouTube channel sooner rather than later. We are not announcing this for 2020. We are actually announcing this for very shortly coming up. So the Romeo Report, our weekly news report with Romeo Cologne, the true troll of the True Heels. He's gonna be with you with the Romeo Report on our YouTube channel, True Heel Heat. Going Raw with Drunk Guy JJ, where he's taking shots for every bad segment on Monday Night Raw. We thank Jaquan for his sacrifice. That's going to be coming to our YouTube channel.
Hit the Quan! Hit the Quan!
3 count with SP3 will be coming to our YouTube channel as well. And of course, the beautiful, the lovely Miss Krssi Love and the rest of the Lynch clan will be giving you our SmackDown review. Next week on True Heel Heat 55, well, like I said, I have a little something special for the good brother Ness who helped us produce True Heel Heat 53. He's going to have something special for our YouTube channel, as well as we're going to bring you someone special from another YouTube channel, a very popular YouTube channel. I might have appeared on there, giving you some power, who knows. But they're going to be giving you a special AEW Dynamite review. So I'll announce that on True Heel Heat 55. So tell them where they can find you on social media before we wrap things up.
You can find me on IG, Twitter, and on Facebook at Miss Krssi Love or _ Miss Sensational Miss Krssi Love or Mrs. Lynch.
Mrs. Lynch. So you can check me out on Instagram, TrueHeel_EpicSP3.
I will be on the Jabba podcast on Sunday for their Big 4 episode. So I will see you guys on Sunday for that. Check me out if you all are on that page. You'll see the idea with Miss Lovely Janelle of HR and the rest of the ladies of the clan. Can't wait. It's going to be a great one. We're going to talk about all WWE things and the next Big 4, which is the Survivor Series TakeOver weekend that's coming up.
Survivor Series weekend, you got a lot to unpack, and Krssi Love's going to be with you all week Sunday, and then she's back with us for True Heel Heat 55 on Thursday, live on the Spotlight, or if you're watching from YouTube. Like I said, TrueHeel_EpicSP3. Find us on the Twitter machine, True Heel Heat. Become a subscriber to our YouTube channel. We need to eclipse that 300, and there is so much content that is about to be coming coming at you very soon on True Hill Heat's YouTube channel. So, for Miss Krssi Love, I am the True Hill Phenom SP3 for True Hill Heat 54. We will see you next Thursday for True Hill Heat 55. Signing off.